Like any medium of art, animation has its own principles that can really make or break an animation. This video will discuss 11 main principles, which are staging, appeal, timing, ease in and ease out, moving hold, squash and stretch, anticipation, exaggeration, arcs, overlapping action, and drag and follow through. This video will discuss these techniques and how they are useful to creating realistic or non-realistic animations. This video will also show 2 of my own animations from part A of the assessment. Staging is simply the setup of the animation. It ensures that the animation is framed in such a way that what is happening is clear to the viewer and nothing important is cut off or out of frame. Appeal is creating a character that is literally appealing to the audience. This can of course be done through the design and look of the character, but also through posing and exaggeration to really convey the feel of the character. Timing refers to the amount of frames between each pose or keyframe. More frames between poses portrays a slower and smoother action, whereas fewer frames will make the action appear faster. Ease in and ease out is a principle that is part of timing and refers to the speed at which actions begin and end. Typically, this is easing into an action, that is, starting slowly and building up to speed, and easing out of an action, the opposite, coming down from speed and slowly coming to a stop. A moving hold is the slight bit of action or movement that a character has while holding a pose. This gives life to the character, as in real life, no one is 100% still when holding a position. There will always be some movement, whether that is blinking or breathing. Squash and stretch is what gives the character or object its flexibility. By applying a contrasting change of shape, from the squash to the stretch, the animation has a feeling of life and flexibility. Without this principle, an animation can appear rigid and stiff, and sometimes boring. Anticipation lets the viewer know something big is about to happen. It prepares the audience for a major action. This principle helps to set up a believable action. Exaggeration is more or less the pushing of movement beyond what's realistic in characters. This is mostly seen in cartoons, where the animation is not trying to mimic real life. It can add more appeal to an action or a pose. Arcs relate to the natural movement of an action. In the real world, almost every action and movement follows an arced or circular path. A straight line path is unnatural and awkward. Therefore, it is important to use arcs when animating, so the movement looks normal and natural and has a more fluid movement. Finally, overlapping action is a principle regarding the way different parts of a body or object tend to move at different rates as dictated by the laws of physics. This is closely related to the principle of drag and follow through, which also makes sure the character is following the laws of physics. In the second principle, it regards the fact that loosely connected parts of the body or object will continue moving through to completion, although the main movement of the body or object has already stopped.